Hello, welcome back to my haunted library. It's Regina. So I'm here with a few things today. I've tried to bring in a little St. Patrick's Day green. It's been a pretty difficult week, actually. It's really nice to be back in the library where I can just make a video and focus on books because I had a death in my family a week ago, and I've just been kind of course, preoccupied with that. So it's been a sad time, but I did get to see some family members that I hadn't seen for a while, so that's a blessing. But it just feels nice to get back into the coziness of my library. Before I forget, I have a winner for my giveaway, which I posted on my community tab there. And I also left a comment on this person's comment in my last giveaway video. And the name is Brooke. So Brooke, if you see this video, please send me an email at reginashauntedlibrary@gmail.com, no apostrophe, and I will help you claim your prize. Okay, so let's see, moving on. I do have a little mail today. I think I know what this is. Someone contacted me about sending me a book. Now, I have been closed for ARCs for a while, but if people want to send me a printed copy, I might read it. No promises. And I say that only because I have so many books and I still haven't read the ones people have already sent me, but I'm going to give this one a try. The Eidola, or Eidola Project by Robert Herold. Cover's very nice. All right, I'm intrigued. A ripping yarn. The narrative is lurid, lean, and delightful, says Lisa Jones, whoever that is. It's 1885, and a drunk and rage-filled Nigel Pickford breaks up a phony medium seance. Uh-oh, watch out, Matilda. A strange twist of fate soon finds him part of a team investigating the afterlife. The Eidola, I don't know if it's Eidola or Eidola, I'm not sure where the emphasis on the syllable goes, but we'll just go with it. The Eidola Project is an intrepid group of explorers dedicated to bringing the light of science to that which has been feared, misunderstood, and often manipulated by charlatans. Well, that's true. They are a psychology professor, his assistant, an African-American physicist, a sideshow medium, and now a derelict, each possessing unique strengths and weaknesses. Called to the brooding Hutchinson estate to investigate rumored hauntings, they encounter deadly supernatural forces and a young woman driven to the brink of madness. Will any of them survive? Well, this book looks really intriguing, honestly. So thank you, Robert, for sending this to me. I'm going to put this right here as a visual reminder to read it. I have a couple things that I'm reading concurrently, but I will try to get to that soon. Okay, what else? Oh, I did a little mini haul. I say mini, except now that I've stacked them all together, there actually are quite a lot of books. So I went to, this week when I went to my family member's funeral services, I stopped at my usual favorite places on the drive, and the Christian bookstore being one of them, and which always has the best horror for some reason. Although the music they play in there, the horribly cringy Christian rock music, I could do without, but they have some great books. And another place I went. So anyway, let's see what I got. Okay, so this store, I got some R.L. Stine, a different variety of books. This is a point horror book called The Girlfriend. She's bad, so bad. Scotty has the perfect life and the perfect girlfriend, but one weekend while she's away, Scotty goes a little bit astray. Suddenly he has a new girlfriend, one that won't go away. His one wild night has become a nightmare because his new girlfriend has decided that she loves Scotty to death. This looks like a great Valentine's Day read, and just a great read in general. What's this one? This is a Fear Street, and I don't think I have this one. I got an incredible group of Fear Street books, I think from the same store, back in the summer, but I don't think I have this one. It's called Missing. First their parents disappeared, then the real terror began. So it's a very 80s looking cover. These aren't in the best shape, though, I have to say. They were 99 cents each, and they're a little beat up. This is another point horror. The Babysitter 2. Knock, knock, who's there? Don't ask. This one, I think I might have this one. I'm not sure. This is Beach House. Don't go near the water. I've seen this one. I think maybe Alex over at the Bookubus. She has a lot of these books. I think she might have reviewed that one. And this one, I don't think I have either. The New Boy. He was a hunk of trouble. I love those little descriptions. Okay, so I think those are all my R.L. Stine books. And this one I found, and every one of these has one of those obnoxious stickers on it, but, you know, it's just the way it is. So this one's called Nocturne by Elaine Bergstrom, author of Blood to Blood, looks like a vampire book. Bergstrom's vampire is of the breed Anne Rice fans will love, graceful, sexy, sophisticated. Never heard of this one. It's little wonder that critics have compared Bergstrom's work to that of Anne Rice. Okay, so we're going for a definite Anne Rice vibe. Sounds like it might be a little sexy, so that would be fun. All right, what else? Oh, I picked up a Clive Barker book that I don't have called Everville. I definitely heard of that one, but I don't really know what it's about. I still have yet to read all the Barkers out there, and I kind of set myself up for that. And I've read a few in the last year, a couple of years. Well, since I started my BookTube channel, I have read a few, but I'd like to read more. This came out in '94. They're large. It's kind of like reading a Stephen King book. It's just such a commitment. With Clive Barker's trademark mingling of wild fantasy, eroticism, and visionary horror, Everville promises a journey that will all arouse and terrify in equal measure, opening the doors of a new reality, a strange and sensual wonderland of magical possibilities. Okay, I have no idea what it's about from that description. So maybe that's the problem. I always feel like when I love The Hellbound Heart. It's one of my favorite books. I love Cold Heart Canyon. But sometimes when I read a Clive Barker that's, when they say fantasy in the description, I get a little nervous because he really can go off the rails sometimes, like my beloved Anne Rice, like Stephen King too, in these very long-winded stories that I can sometimes get lost in, impatient with, that kind of thing. But I'll give it a try. Speaking of Anne Rice, I found this one in this Christian bookstore. This is called Of Love and Evil, one of the shorter ones. I have a few short books that have this kind of style cover that are probably around from the same time. This might be part of the vampire series. I'm not sure. It looks very gothic. Of Love and Evil, The Songs of the Seraphim. I guess this is about angels. Came out in 2010, so it's relatively new. Anne Rice's lyrical haunting novel, a metaphysical thriller of angels and assassins that once again summons up dark and dangerous worlds set in times past. Anne Rice takes us to other realms, this time in the world of 15th century Rome, a city of domes and rooftop gardens, rising towers and crosses beneath the ever-shifting layer of clouds, of familiar hills and tall pines, of Michelangelo and Raphael, of the Holy Inquisition, and of Leo the second son of a Medici, holding forth from the papal throne. This sounds pretty good. And I like the fact that it's not that long. So I'm going to put this over here with the book that I was sent to encourage me to read that one relatively soon. And I also picked up some Victoria Holt's Gothic Romance, but the hardcover kind. A lot of times these are from book club books, but this one looks good. Curse of the Kings. I do have quite a few of this type of Gothic romance, the hardback Victoria Holt or someone along those lines that deserves its own shelf as well. So that one looks good. I love the illustration. Same with this one, The Shadow of the Lynx. Really beautiful illustrations. And The Night of the Seventh Moon. I have a feeling I might already have this one. It looks very familiar, or maybe I have it in paperback. But yeah, I love reading this type of story that just really is an escape. So I will try to get to those. And lastly, I picked up a few V.C. Andrews books that I already have, but when I see them out in the wild and they're in pretty good shape, I do tend to buy them because they're good reading copies if they're a little beat up or if I do a giveaway, that kind of thing. And maybe I just like to have them. So this one is Dawn with the step back cover. I might not even have the step back cover one of Dawn. I know I have the hardback, so that's good. Can't have too many. And this one I know I have. I haven't read the series yet. This is Lightning Strikes with one of our first African American, it's about time, heroines. Oh, then I have a couple more. This is the Shooting Stars series. These are really short. This is Cinnamon. I have all of these. And the last book I picked up was a paperback version of Salems Lot. I have a nice hardback copy of this, but not the paperback. And I'm always looking for the Salems Lot that doesn't have the title on it. It's just this picture. And I remember when they came out, I probably did have one that I bought at the drugstore, but they're collector's items now because no one knew what the heck it was. And in the next printing, they added the title. At least I think that's how it goes. I'll have to consult my Stephen King expert websites. Anyway, so moving on to just a quick review of the last book I read. I have not been reading that much just because of everything that's been going on. Family stuff, obviously, it's been a really difficult time. I've been trying to really be there for certain family members who have been really affected. And what else? I've been writing a lot. I'm still working on my goal of putting out a book a month. So the next book is due. I need to upload it. It's on pre-order. I'll link it below if you're interested. It's the second book to the trilogy that I'm calling the Moondance Trilogy. Not that original, but it fits because it's a werewolf story that takes place in the world of ballet. So the first book, Red Masquerade, actually has a #1 new release little ticket next to it, which I'm very proud of. It's actually been selling quite well as far as I've been selling a couple copies a day of the ebook, but mostly it's the Kindle Unlimited reads have been really high on that book, which I'm happy about. And then the next book in the series is called Red Interlude. And then the third one is Red Finale. So it's 3, and you can check it out. I'll link it all below. So I've been busy with that, but I did start reading the Logan series. I read the first book, and I'm about 100 pages into the second book. And this is Melody, the first book in the series. Melody, a haunting, enchanting novel of a lovely young girl emerging from a cocoon of lies. Melody introduces the irresistible new Logan family series from V.C. Andrews. Growing up in a hardscrabble West Virginia mining town, Melody Logan often wished her flighty movie star gorgeous mother, Haley, wasn't so unhappy. But the warmth of her wonderful father's unwavering love made Melody always feel safe and secure until a dreadful mining accident took his life. Melody was still devastated by her father's death when she came home from school to find her mother gaily packing suitcases. Haley wanted to try her luck as a model or actress, but first would stop on Cape Cod to visit with Melody's father's family, the family of which he had never spoken. Okay, so this sounds like pretty familiar territory. I'll just continue a little bit. Melody was both excited and apprehensive about meeting her family, while dour, Bible-spouting Uncle Jacob did little to ease her fears. Aunt Sarah, though oddly nervous, was more welcoming. Melody had barely met her cousins, handsome Carrie and May, a sweet, deaf 10-year-old, when her mother told her she was to remain on the Cape. Marooned among virtual strangers, Melody felt utterly alone, but at school, when vicious gossips taunted her with ugly rumors, she found an unexpected ally in Carrie, and on Melody's first desperately uncomfortable visit with her tyrannical grandmother Olivia, sound familiar with this V.C. Andrews themes, and grandfather Samuel, it was Carrie who finally began to reveal the truth about her parents, a story of defiant love that only deepened her confusion. This is a pretty long description, I apologize. Yet Melody knew nothing of the dark deceptions that would soon surface, or of the betrayals she would face before she glimpsed the faint light of a safe harbor. I liked how they worked in that ocean metaphor, because it does take place on Cape Cod, which is a lovely place I visited once in a very rainy weekend. I happened to work with someone who had a cabin there, and it was lovely. but I don't think I really got to experience the beauty because it was freezing in the middle of winter, which is when I like to vacation, as you know. So with this book, I have to say I was a little disappointed with the first book. I was very excited with the mother, Haley, because she was like a Fanny character. She wasn't the Corinne type of mother. She was more of a wild child running around with this, as soon as the father's dead, he's not even, his body is still warm, and she's taken off with this, kind of sleazy guy, and they're going to go off and she's going to become an actress, and live out her dreams, and she dumps her daughter with this other family. Once the mother left the picture, I got a little bored because Melody, it wasn't really mentioned in this description that she plays the fiddle. And I'm hoping, the fiddle is here in the picture, and it's called Melody, and it's all of these musical titles. I expected that her music to be a little more front and center. Now, it doesn't mean it won't be in later books. The second book I'm reading is actually pretty good so far. But I find her character a little dull, as some of these heroines can be. That they need to have a little bit of fire to them. Like Kathy can be a little bit bitchy, especially toward her mother, as in the Flowers in the Attic series. And even in the Castile series, I loved Ruby. Her character was great. And Dawn, too. Dawn was an innocent, but there was something interesting about her, like guilelessness, I guess. But this character just is a little flat. The love interest, I guess he's her cousin of some sort, distant cousin perhaps, who's like instantly in love with her, this guy Carrie. She's not really reciprocating his affection, so there's not a lot of sexual tension. And the grandparents, that whole thing, that dynamic of the Bible spouting grandfather, whatever, it just seems so done to death that it doesn't really hold a lot of spark for me. Although it does get a little more interesting when she discovers that her father might be this eccentric artist who lives on Cape Cod. And in the second book, she starts to have, a relationship with him. Not that kind of relationship, at least not yet. You never know with a V.C. Andrews book. But I think, of course, I'll stick with the series and report back when I finish the next book. So I guess I would give this one like a 3 out of 5 stars, which is still good. I still enjoyed it. It just was a little bit, it didn't quite have the oomph the other books have. So let me know in the comments below if you've read any of the books I mentioned today, if you've read Melody or the book that the author has sent me, or this lovely Anne Rice book, or any of the other books in my haul. I would love to hear your thoughts. So I hope you're well. I hope if you're Irish that you enjoy St. Patrick's Day, and even if you're not Irish that you enjoy it. I would be enjoying it more, except I gave up alcohol for Lent, so I will be having a non-alcoholic beer, and 40 days does not last forever. We're already over almost 2 weeks in, so I'll survive. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Thanks for stopping by my haunted library, and I'll see you soon. Bye.